This conference will now be recorded.
In the last class, we have seen about the Java introduction. Just we have done with the introduction of Java, like where we said Java is what? Java is an object-oriented programming language. And since Java is an object-oriented programming language, so before we enter into Java, we should have a basic idea about what is object and what is class. What is object, what is class? So the meaning of object is like an object is a real-time entity. An object is what? It's a real-time entity which has identity, state, and behavior. Which has what? Identity, state, and behavior. I've elaborated about this object using a diagram. Let me open the diagram. So, like if you consider an object like a car, how to identify a car uniquely? By using the registration number. Then for an object, we go with the state. The meaning of state is like the properties what we give to the car, like the make, the model, the color, the price, the capacity, like this. This we call it as data members or variables or attributes or properties or fields. Different people use different terminologies. For a car, we go with the behavior. The meaning of behavior is like the actions what we perform. The actions what we perform, the operations what we do, that only we call behavior. Like where we can drive, we can apply brake, we can change gear, we can reverse, we can stop, like this. So when we say behavior, we call them as methods or operations or functions. And for methods or functions, we use the symbol at the end, parenthesis. When you see parenthesis, remember they are methods, right? Just a second. Hello, Firdaus.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, I can hear
Hi.
you. Yeah, hi.
Uh, Sir, I just have a question. This session just now started, or?
Just now started. I'm just recapping yesterday's class.
Oh, okay,
Yesterday only
okay,
I
okay,
started with the Java. Okay.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and
okay.
can
Thank
you
you.
know who
Thank
has
you.
shared the link to you?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, who has referred to this class?
Uh, Give me a minute, sir. His name is Satya.
Yeah, okay, right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So at the end, the class is getting recorded. At the end, I'll be asking you to send one test mail to me. You can, once you send the test mail, I'll be taking care of sending the recordings to you. Okay, Firdaus.
Oh, okay, 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 sir. Thank you.
Right. So what is an object? An object is what? It's a real-time entity which has ID, state, and behavior. This behavior, we can even call it as methods or operations or functions. The next term, what we discussed yesterday, is class. So what is class? A class is a collection of data members and methods. Like example, how to create a class in Java is by using a keyword class. By using a keyword what? Class. And the name of the class. By using the keyword class and the name of the class. Like example, person. In this class, we go with the data members. Data members means the state of your object. Like here we go with the for a person we go with age. For a person we go with the name. For a person we go with height. So what is this int, string, and float? This int, string, and float, we call them as data types. And this age, name, and height, we call them as data members or variables. variables are mainly to hold the data. So in order to hold the data, we have to allocate memory for it. So to allocate memory, we have to mention the data type, what type of data you are going to store. So more about these data types, variables, everything we discuss again when we come to basics part. Okay. Now, in a class, we even go with methods like eat. A person can eat. A person can walk. A person can eat and a person can walk. Right? Right. Now, once we create a class with some data members and methods, now outside of the class, if you access any member directly, this will go with error. Then how to access these members outside of class means by creating object of the class. So how to create object of class? Like this: class name, object name equal to new class name. So in this, P is an object of class person. P is what here? It's an object of class person. Okay. Then. Now, by using this P object with the dot operator, now we can give value to age. By using P with the dot operator, we can give value to name. By using P, the dot operator, we can even call the method walk like this. So whenever we want to access the members of class outside, we have to create object of class, and using dot operator, we can access these members. So this is the major point what we require to enter into Java. Just we should know the terms, what is class, what is object. So this is the thing what we discussed yesterday. Yesterday only we started with Java. Now, today let us start off with the next topic, Java features. Java features. In Java, we are having totally 10 features. In Java, we are having totally what? 10 features. 10 important features. They are: Java is simple. Java is object oriented, robust, platform independent. Very important feature for today's class. Interpreted, portable, secure, multi-threaded, dynamic, and distributed. So these are the 10 important features of Java. These are the 10 important features. Right. Now today we are going to discuss these features as a small overview, and as we enter into Java, we'll be discussing every feature in detail. Now, let us go with the first one, simple. Why we call Java is simple here? Because, like example, if you consider, we are having a concept like arrays. The meaning of arrays. Can anyone say what is the use of arrays? What is the use of arrays?
Collection or list.
Yeah, collection of elements. Collection of elements, we call it as what? Object. We call it as object. Then, now, once we collect the elements, like arrays, we want to sort the array elements. Sorting means what? Arranging elements in ascending order or descending order. Arranging elements in ascending or descending. Okay. So when you want to arrange elements in ascending order or descending, that means sorting. If I want to write that code using C or C++, we need to write approximately 10 to 15 lines of code. But in the case of Java, we can make use of a predefined class arrays. In case of Java, we can make use of a predefined class arrays, which contains a method sort, and to this we'll pass the array name. So this one line of code is going to do the task for us, the sorting process. That's the reason we say Java is what? Simple. So why we say Java is simple is, Java is simple as it contains lots of APIs. The meaning of API is like application programming interfaces. Even we call them as libraries. Even we call them as what? Libraries. When the meaning of library is like existing code, the predefined code, that already existing code only we call library or API. As the days goes on, I'll be showing you how to open APIs and how to complete the task using API, and even I'll be giving assignments to you where you need to open API to complete the task. Right? The next one, object oriented. As I mentioned yesterday, Java is what? Object oriented programming language. Java is an object oriented. Java is an object oriented programming language as it supports all the OO features. All the OO features. The meaning of OO is object oriented only. As it supports all the OO features like objects, classes, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So these are very, very important one. This will take totally 5 classes for us to complete this. Next one, robust. Next one is what? Robust. Just a second. Robust. The meaning of robust is like, robust means strong. Robust means what? Strong. Now, let me elaborate this. Let us suppose if you are typing a document in Microsoft Word, after typing the document, we want to print the document. After typing what you want to do, we want to print the document. But printer is not connected to your system. Then what is going to happen? When we issue print command, what is going to happen? Will it give a message that printer not connected, or will it close the application? Message or close, what is going to happen?
It will give a message.
Message, right? It is going to give the message to us. It is not going to close the application automatically. So this type of applications only we call robust applications. That means if any abnormal situation occurs, like printer not connected, the application should not close automatically, should give a proper message to the user what went wrong. Such type of applications only we call robust applications. So you can say in Java, we can develop robust applications using exception handling concept. The meaning of exception means a runtime error, means when we are running the application, when we are using the application, that situation only we call runtime. So during that, due to some abnormal situations, if you are getting errors, those only we call exceptions. And once we get exception, the remaining part of code, the remaining part of application will not get executed, it terminates. So to avoid that abnormal termination, we need to handle that. So to do that handling only, we go make use of a concept called as exception handling. Very, very important topic for us. The next important feature is platform independent. So for today, this is the major important one for us. Platform independent. So the meaning of platform means operating system. Platform means what? Operating system. Okay, then. And what is this platform independent is? When we write a Java program, if you write it on Windows, we can even run it on Linux or Mac. That's the meaning of platform independent. Any operating can use it. Let me elaborate more on this using a diagram. Platform independent. So what are the diagrams I'm going to draw? Everything will be shared to you. Now, so what is this platform independent is? A Java program can run on any platform, means any operating system. We can even say like a Java program is write once, run anywhere, or write once, run anywhere. Write the program on one operating system, we can run it on any other operating system. Okay. First of all, what is a Java program? A Java program is a collection of classes. What makes a Java program? It is what? It's a collection of classes. Like example, if you consider a Java program like x.java, the extension what we give for a Java program is .java, and the programs whatever we are going to write, we call them as source code. What are the programs we write? We call them as what? Source code. Now, in this x.java, let us go with some classes. So what makes a Java program? It's a collection of classes. So how to create a class? I said by using a keyword class and the name of the class. Let us create some classes here. Class A, class B, and class C. We are creating 3 classes here. Right? So totally there are 3 classes. So whenever you want to write a Java program, we have to go with classes compulsory. Minimum 1 class should be there. Now, once we write the source code, this source code is not understood by your operating system directly. The source code is not understood by your operating system directly. So to make it understandable by your operating system, we have to translate it. What we should do? We have to do the translation process. That translation process, we call it as compilation. The translation process only we call compilation. So to compile at your command prompt or terminal. In the case of Windows, we say command prompt. In the case of Linux or Mac, we say terminal. So at your command prompt or terminal, we use a command javac and we give the name of the source code file x.java. We use a command javac and pass the name of the source code file x.java. So this command will remain same for any operating system. Then how to get this command? If you download and install Java on your operating system, then we can start using this command. Javac means Java compiler. And what it is going to do is, it goes to this x.java and it's going to compile. Then, depends on the number of classes in your source code. Depends on the number of classes in your source code. That many class files it's going to create. So here what it is going to do, creates once we compile, creates a.class, b.class and c.class. Depends on number of classes in your source code, that many class files will be created. In our example, we are having 3 classes. So it's going to create a dot class, b dot class, and c dot class. Then these dot class files are called as bytecodes. What we call them as bytecodes. The dot class files are bytecodes, and these bytecodes are platform independent. So what makes Java platform independent means that is they are bytecodes. So if you compile this Java code on Windows operating system, and once we get the dot class files, we can use these dot class files on any operating system. So that's the meaning of platform independent here. Then once we get the bytecodes, we have to run our application. What is the need of running? To see the result, the output of your application. So to run a Java program, at least one class should contain main method. To run a Java program, at least one class, minimum one class should contain main method. Why main method? Main method is the entry point. Main method is the entry point to run a Java program. So the entry point to require is main method. So here in a class, we can have main method. Don't worry what is void, everything I'll be rediscussing, and even I've explained about what is void in the demo part. So however, we discuss once again about void everything. Void means no return type. So whenever you create a method, you have to mention the return type of your method. So if you are not returning any value outside of your method, we use void. So in our example, in A class we are going with main method, in B class we are going with main method. Very important point, many people don't know this point properly. We can run only dot class files. We can run only dot class files which contains main method. We can run dot class files which contains main method. Okay. Now understand carefully. To run at your command prompt or terminal, we use a command Java. We use a command Java, and let me go with all the options here: Java A, Java B, Java C, and Java X. Java C, Java X. Now, so when we say Java X, then what is going to happen? What is going to happen when we say Java X? What is X here? It's only the name of the source code file. What is X here? It's only the name of the source code file. Does it have a dot class file?
No.
No, right? But what is the point I mentioned? We can run only dot class file. So there is no dot class file for X. It's only the name of the source code file. It goes with error. And the message is no class definition found. There is no dot class file for this. Now, when we say Java C, what is going to happen?
Compile.
It's going to run.
It compile. Is it going to
Already
compile?
we have done compilation, right? Already we have done
Okay.
compilation. Now we are in running. What is going to happen?
Going to run. It
Going to
will
run. See the
again give
point.
an error. It will again give an error because it is not a dot class file.
It's having dot class file. It's having dot class file. For C, there is a dot class file.
Okay.
See, in extra Java, there is a class C, right? No problem. So it's having
Yeah.
dot class file. But does it have main method inside?
No, it doesn't have a main method.
It's not having main method. So it will go with error and says no main method. right? There is no main method here. So when you say Java B, is the condition satisfied? Does it have a doc class file and even main method inside?
Yeah.
Yes. Then runs the program from B class main method. The entry point will become B class main method. And when you say Java A, the condition is satisfied. Runs the program from A class main method. So whichever the class name we give to the Java command, it will go to the respective main method of that class. The entry point will become the respective main method. And for C, there is no main method here. It will go with error. This condition is satisfied, but this condition is not satisfied, so goes with error. And when we say Java X, there is no doc class file at all. Then it will go with error. So this point is very, very important. Okay. And I'm going to show everything, whatever I discussed here theoretically, I'm going to show every word in tomorrow's class practically. So from tomorrow, we'll be entering into practical part. Right. The next feature, interpreted. So in this, JavaScript command is a compiler and Java command is an interpreter. So what is compiler and what is interpreter is? Compiler means at a time, interpreter means line by line. Simple universal difference anywhere, any language. Compiler means at a time, interpreter means line by line. So what compiler is going to do? It's going to convert our source code into bytecode at a time. Interpreter executes bytecode line by line. So Java command is an interpreter here. You can see Java command is an interpreter. And what is the role of interpreter? Java interpreter executes the bytecode line by line. Let me even document about Java compiler. JavaScript command is a compiler. And what is the role of compiler? Java compiler converts source code into bytecode line by line. So what is this compiler? I'll be elaborating practically to you tomorrow. Then about this interpreter, the line by line meaning we'll be elaborating when we come to exception handling. The next feature, portable. When we take the programming languages like C or C++, so if you are not having any background, no worries at all, don't worry. The size of integer means how much memory it is going to occupy for integer data type. So can anyone say what is size of integer in the case of C or C++? How much memory it is going to occupy for integer data type? 2 bytes. It's going to occupy what? 2 bytes on 32-bit. 2 bytes on 32-bit operating system, or 4 bytes on 64-bit operating system. 2 bytes on 32-bit, 4 bytes on 64. Now let us suppose if you are writing the code in 32-bit, if you are writing a C language program on 32-bit, if you take the same C language program to 64-bit, then there is a chance of having memory issues. That's the reason we say C and C++ are not highly portable. So we have to go back to the program and modify the code based on your operating system because the size is differing. Coming to Java, size of integer is 4 bytes. 4 bytes, either it may be 32-bit or even 64-bit. Maybe 32 or 64, the size is same. That's the reason we say Java is what? Portable. You can see Java is portable since the size of respective data types is same on all platforms. On all operating systems, the sizes remain same to the respect to data type. So what are these data types? What are their sizes? We'll be elaborating when we start up with the basics part. Right? So tomorrow we go with how to download and install Java, and we develop Java application at command prompt. The next day we go with Eclipse IDE. Then after that we'll be entering into basics where we see about data types. The next feature, secure. So before we go to secure, again let us see about CRC++. In this CRC++, we are having a definition called as a pointer. A pointer is a variable which contains the address of another variable. Contains address of another variable. Like example, if we take a variable n equal to 10, the value of n is for 10. Then what is going to happen? It's going to allocate memory for n variable. It allocates memory for n variable whose value is 10. Now variable means to store the data. We give the name to the memory space, that names only we call variable. Then in this n variable we are having a value 10. Now let us suppose the address of this n variable is some 100. The address of this memory space is 100. Now we want to take this address and store it into some other variable. How to do it? By using a symbol and n. When you say and n, this will give address of n variable. This will give what? Address of n variable. This address we want to store it into some other variable. We want to store it into some other variable. Then we use the symbol here star before. So when we see star symbol for before variable, they are pointers. So what is going to happen now? It's going to create a pointer p, and this p is pointing to this memory location. Now by using this p, we can go to this memory address and we can even change the value also. By using pointer, we can go to the respective memory address and we can even change the value. Means by using pointer, we can go to any memory location and we can even change it. Means we can even corrupt also. We can even corrupt the memory space with some values. That's the reason C and C++ are used to develop virus or antivirus applications. C and C++ for what? Virus or antivirus. But coming to Java, Java is mainly for what? Business applications. Java is mainly for business applications. That's the reason in Java they have removed pointers. In Java there is no concept of pointers because pointers violate security. I can go to any memory space and corrupt also. So what is the point? Java does not support pointers. So even though you are not having any background of pointers, don't worry at all. However, Java does not support pointers. So Java is secure as Java does not support pointers, as pointers violate security. So we can go to any memory space and corrupt it. Multi-threaded. So can anyone go with the examples of multitasking? Multitasking.
Driving.
Driving. So related to software.
CPU.
CPU. CPU is hardware, not a software.
Microsoft Office.
Yeah, opening Microsoft Office like Word, Excel. So like opening multiple applications is only multitasking. Like example, in my case, I've opened browser, notepad, paint, GoToMeeting like this. So opening multiple applications. You are listening to the songs and doing some typing work in Microsoft Word. So two applications are running simultaneously. That is multitasking. Then what is the thread? Have you seen threads anytime? So we are using threads also in our class. So the good example of thread is like if you take this go to meeting. So go to meeting is a task. In that what I'm doing, I can share your screen to you. I can record the class. I can speak with you. All the things I'm doing simultaneously. And all this part of which application? Go to meeting. So threads are what? A part of process. Threads are a part of one task. If you are able to do simultaneously all the things, that means it is multi-threaded application. One more good example. If you take Gmail, in Gmail, it's a task. How many compose windows we can open?
Multiple.
Multiple, right? And every compose window what you open, it's a thread. Every compose window is thread. Then in one compose window, we want to attach the files. So can we attach one or multiple?
Yep, we can.
Again, multiple. So when one attachment is going on, we can even attach one more like that. We can attach multiple. And when attachments are going on, we can even type the subject and body of the message. We can even type the subject and body of the message. So this advantage we get because of these threads.
Sorry.
What is advantage?
Multiple task performance.
Now we can perform multiple. But what is the final advantage?
Performance, increase the performance of the application.
We can increase the performance. We can increase what? Performance. Right? Right? Right?
Yeah.
So what is a thread? A thread is a lightweight process. Lightweight process under execution. Under execution. Under execution within a process. So if you take Gmail as the process, so the lightweight process are like compose messages, attachments, all those. So when one attachment is going on, until it gets completed, then only we can attach one more, means our time will get wasted. So the main use of going with threads is performance, means we can save the time. So multi-threading is used to increase the performance of application. So when we come to the topic multi-threading, we'll be discussing more on this, how to increase performance of our Java applications. The next feature is dynamic. The next one, dynamic. So in the case of C or C++, memory allocation for arrays or objects will be done during compile time only. But in the case of Java, the memory allocation will happen during runtime. In Java, memory allocation for arrays, objects is done during runtime. Runtime means dynamic. And one more good feature of Java is automatic garbage collection. Java is what? Automatic garbage collection. So in the case of C or C++, once we allocate memory, disallocation of memory need to be taken care by programmer only. But in the case of Java, our work is only to allocate memory. Disallocation is taken care by Java. That feature only we call automatic garbage collection. The next feature, distributed. Distributed applications are used for the purpose of exchanging data from one application to another application. From one application to another application. So the good example is like payment processes. So if you open Amazon, once we add the items into the cart, we want to go with the payment. So when we want to go with payment, what are the different ways of doing payment?
Card or PayPal or
Right.
Google
Yeah,
Pay.
debit card, PayPal, UPI, like that. We are having so many options. Let us suppose if I go with net banking, and in that if I choose Citibank, then from your Amazon, will it redirect to Citibank application? Have you observed it?
Yes, yes,
Right?
it does.
Means your Amazon and Citibank are communicating. So this type of communication between the applications, such type of applications only we call distributed applications. So all the payment process, whatever we see, they are all distributed applications. Okay. So nowadays we develop this distributed application using web services concept, and we use Spring REST module to develop distributed applications. Okay. Right. So these are the features what we discussed. So what are the features we discussed today? Java is simple, object oriented, robust, platform independent, interpreted, portable, secure, multi-threaded, dynamic, and distributed. So for tomorrow's class, before you join tomorrow, please recap this platform independent and join. So this is important for tomorrow's class. So tomorrow we'll be going with what? How to download and install Java. We'll go with the 18 version, and we'll be developing a Java application at command prompt. So that is the task for, right?